Now at 6, cleared for release.
Is he criminally responsible? No. Does he need help? Yes.
Why the off-duty pilot accused of trying to cut a passenger plane's engines is walking free tonight.
We'll probably find something. What we're waiting to find out is how much and of what contaminations.
Buy the land now, make sure it's actually safe later. The potentially toxic gaffe that could upend Portland's second mass homeless campsite.
I swam like I have never swam in my freaking life.
And as the rivers recede, incredible stories of survival emerge following days of heavy rain and flooding. Thanks for joining us at 6. I'm Brittany Folkers. Our top story tonight, the off-duty Alaska Airlines pilot accused of trying to bring a passenger plane down, forcing an emergency landing in Portland, is now out of jail. Kyle Aboshi has been tracking today's developments in court and joins us from the newsroom. Kyle.
Joseph Emerson was just released from the Multnomah County Jail after posting bail. His friends and family had been waiting there for hours. Emerson embraced his wife with a hug after being released. He declined to speak with the media. He plans to return home to Northern California while awaiting trial. This morning, the 44-year-old was arraigned on a single felony count of endangering an aircraft and 83 misdemeanor counts of reckless endangerment. Prosecutors claim the off-duty pilot, seated in a cockpit jump seat, tried to bring down a commercial flight from Everett to San Francisco on October 22nd. The plane, with 83 other passengers and crew on board, made an emergency landing in Portland. Emerson claims he never intended to hurt anyone, according to his lawyers. He'd been struggling with depression and took hallucinogenic mushrooms 2 days before the incident. The case brought new attention to pilot mental health.
I'm saddened and that this situation had to happen to my husband and to these people that it affected, but I know that this has created a movement and momentum to help thousands of other pilots and people in mental health situations, in jobs that are in a sense silenced, or it's disincentivized to go get help and care.
In a highly unusual move, Emerson, his wife, and a defense medical expert testified before the grand jury. Emerson is pleading not guilty. He's due back in court on January 19th.
All right, Kyle, thank you. Let's get to some other headlines now. The city of Portland has been working on opening its second mass-sanctioned campsite for homeless people in North Portland. But it turns out it's on land that's likely contaminated with toxic chemicals. This could hold up the entire process. Years ago, the state found toxins in soil at the site. Now, the city must test the site to see if it's safe before they can move homeless people in. Some neighbors aren't confident about this plan.
We can't place the most vulnerable people in our community on site of an already toxic site. It's just adding to their burden.
Coming up on The Story at 6:30, Blair Best talks with the DEQ and experts there who believe the site is likely contaminated and what that could mean for the future of the project. Meantime, another project to address homelessness in Portland is on hold. Multnomah County commissioners indefinitely delayed a vote on a plan for a community housing village in the Montavilla neighborhood. A vote was expected today, but the Joint Office of Homeless Services asked for more time for community involvement. The proposed village at Southeast Oak and 82nd Avenue used to be an old RV dealership. The site is expected to have space for 40 people with 29 pod structures. It's not clear when the board will vote on it now. Authorities have identified the victims of a murder-suicide in Clark County. The sheriff's office says 64-year-old Stuart Rouse killed his wife Christina, two daughters Melissa and Christina, and his brother Ronald before killing himself. It happened Sunday at a home on Northeast 92nd Street in the Orchards neighborhood. Deputies found everyone dead when they got there. And we want to let you know, if you or someone you know is in crisis, there is help, and it's available 24/7. You can call or text that number on your screen, 988, on any phone. It's going to connect you to a suicide prevention crisis center and a trained counselor. Portland police have arrested a man in a deadly shooting from last month. On November 15th, 25-year-old Justin Sarton was killed in the Powellhurst-Gilbert neighborhood. 18-year-old Malachi Gant, now faces murder charges. The case is still under investigation. Amtrak service between Portland and Seattle is still suspended tonight due to a second landslide. The first landslide disrupted trains earlier in the week during our heavy rain and flooding. Amtrak had hoped to get them running again by this morning, but now a second landslide is causing issues. The new goal is to get the tracks cleared by Saturday morning. And let's check in on your forecast now. Matt, things are looking a lot better out there in the weather world.
A lot drier out there, that's for sure. We had some sun breaks today, but you know where it's still precipitating? Up in the Cascades. Snow still falling at Timberline. There's been 7 inches new since last night and more on the way. In fact, let's look at the passes. You can see they're snow covered at Government Camp, snow covered and lots of snow in the air right now at Santiam Pass, and a lot of snow in the air and snow covered roads down at Willamette Pass as well. So the message there is if you're driving over the Cascades in the next 24 hours or so, a lot of people head out Friday evening, it will be snowy in the passes. Now, look at the snowfall forecast. We get about 5 to 9 inches by tomorrow when the snow shuts off. Snow level 2,000 feet. I'll give it 4,000 feet on Saturday, but it begins at 2 and it ends up at 65. So it is going to warm up and the snow will be shut off at that point a couple inches before that happens. But that all comes down to really good skiing on Saturday. Things are looking pretty good up on the mountain. At least they will be. We've got that winter weather advisory in the valley. So showers overnight in the valleys on and off will dry out tomorrow afternoon, and then yet another atmospheric river headed for the northwest this weekend. We'll dig into that in a bit. Britt, back to you.
All right, Matt, thank you. Developing tonight, a Multnomah County grand jury has indicted 2 county corrections deputies related to the deaths of 2 inmates this year. Daisy Caballero joins us with the details. Daisy.
Yeah, Brittany, deputies James Brockmiller and Michael Merceru have each been charged on a single count of official misconduct in the first degree. The sheriff's office said the charge is related to 2 deaths that happened this year, but they declined to provide more details. Detectives on the case have learned that both men may have not performed their job duties as required. The sheriff's office says they opened separate investigations into their alleged conduct that the Multnomah County District Attorney's Office will take over. We reached out to the sheriff's office for comment, but they declined our request. But in a statement, they said, quote, while an indictment is an accusation of a crime, the Multnomah County Sheriff's Office takes all accusations of misconduct seriously, adding they will continue to cooperate with the District Attorney's Office. Now, this indictment comes as 10 people have died in Multnomah County jails since the start of 2022, 7 of which took place this year. The medical examiner has confirmed with KGW that 1 died of acute cocaine poisoning, 3 deaths were due to natural causes, 2 others were suicides, and 4 death investigations are still pending. Now, both Brockmiller and Merceru have been placed on administrative leave, which the sheriff's office says is standard practice. We will, of course, update you all once we learn more. Brittany?
Daisy, thank you. As the holidays quickly approach, many businesses and homeowners are, of course, putting up decorations. One store in North Portland completed their displays just yesterday, but today that work was shattered. Ashley Graham shares why the store's owner believes this was a targeted attack.
If you take a look around Sunland Lighting, you might hear someone say,
"Hey, how can I light your world today?"
That's owner Kay Newell, and she fittingly refers to herself as the light bulb lady. But Thursday morning, her store on Mississippi Avenue looked different.
When my son came in, he noticed it. And if you saw it, there's this big depression where something hit really hard.
Someone shattered one of the windows. Behind the glass sits a holiday display celebrating Jewish, Christian, and Islamic beliefs. Newell believes the damage to this display as Hanukkah begins is no coincidence.
They didn't hit any of our other displays, and it was taken out just after John put in this display. These items, are, while they're very old, probably aren't worth a great deal of money, but they symbolize something that is very dear to many people's hearts.
Other windows at the shop showcase classic Christmas characters, and some even honor other world religions. Newell thinks this vandalism was targeted.
And right now, we have very serious wars going on in this world, fought among these same people. And it has trickled into the United States.
While she says this person won't accomplish their goal,
it did cost me a whole lot of money.
They have cost her a couple $1,000s. But Newell says she won't harbor anger over the damage.
My message to the person who did this, find the light in yourself. Share that, not the burden of hate.
Reporting in Portland, I'm Ashley Grams, KGW News.